Da 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 da. The Batman. Ah, the happy origins of Batman on our TV screens. Started in the 1960s in the Adam West era, which involved them classic over-the-top performances that were just so camp, just so fun. It's still worth a watch today. However, over maybe the last 30 years, the world has been getting increasingly paranoid, and it's translated into our TV and film. Now, we live in a bleak world with no hope. More of a devolution, really. Is it devolution or devolution? Anyway, and with that being said, what better man to encapsulate that feeling than Matt Reeves? He's great at dreary films, and this one is no exception. It definitely fits along the lines of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and even the frenetic end-of-the-world survival movie named Cloverfield. Both definitely well worth watching. So when I heard Reeves was in control, I was all in for this emo film. Next was the casting of Batman. And out of all the people in the world, they chose Death Grip's finest, Robert Pattinson. Now for me, he seems to know what roles suit his ability, so if he chooses Batman, then he's definitely adding some kind of extra dimension to the script. If you look at films like The Lighthouse, or Good Time, or even The Devil All the Time, you can see how diverse his catalogue of work is. Oh yeah, and there's Twilight, the film he used to propel his popularity and his bank account. But Pattinson has earned every single dollar from this paycheck. He does not disappoint. I wouldn't say this is the best Batman. I'd say it fits somewhere in the middle. If I could describe the film in maybe wrestling terms, we'd call the Batman a mid-carder, maybe an upper mid-carder, depending on how Vince McMahon felt that day. But anyway, back to Pattinson's Batman, and there is an arc and a development for this character throughout the 3 hours of the movie, thanks to the support around him. Some real good stuff from Colin Farrell as the unrecognizable Penguin. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman was great. Jeffrey Wright as Detective Gordon. Those three were the standouts. The Riddler was a bit of an odd choice. The thing is with Paul Dano, I've seen him in Looper, and he was good in that. I've seen him in Prisoners. Oh my days. Woohoo! But, I don't know. It's slightly frustrating, the whole performance from Paul Dano. He doesn't blow me away in this film. He's not an iconic villain, and he's got nothing on Jim Carrey's performance, which was outrageous, but fun, and sometimes a bit of fun is good. I did like some of the riddles that Batman had to solve. It did remind me of the 1960s TV show, which was pleasant to see. The total aesthetic of Batman looked like Gotham was set in New York. It did have elements of David Fincher, like Seven or Zodiac, but that's not a bad thing at all. But I have to say, you know, one of the highlights of this film is the car chase scene with Penguin. It is incredible, just literally on the edge of my seat, thanks to being bashed about by the fully immersive 4DX. Glad I went to see it in 4DX. Well, I mean, watching it in 4DX brings you a little bit closer to the world that Matt Reeves is trying to create. Good film overall, definitely worth a watch.
Is it?
Yeah.
No way!